did grow up in Sherman, and I never thought I would move back here. I didn't, you never know if there's really a place for you. But as I actually eventually ended up moving back, I decided to open up my company here because I saw a void of quality design in buildings, and not only in buildings, but spaces in general, because that's really what architecture is about. It's more than just buildings, it's about spaces. But what I saw in bringing a company here was that we could help influence the direction that we saw that the town had potential of. And if we were to have a practice, let's say in the Metroplex, we can do hopefully some great work there, but it's among a lot of other buildings. We're talking hundreds of thousands of buildings, whereas every single project we do here makes a difference in the community, because the community being small, the impact has a much larger feel to it than it would if it were just in the middle of a bunch of other buildings. And I think for me, that was one of the biggest reasons for moving back here, was that even the small things that I do make a difference in the community. Or let me say this, the small things that I do have the potential of making much bigger impacts in the community, much more noticeable.
Well, I came from a small town not far from here, and so I'm aware of the atmosphere. And after college, and sort of finding the next step for me, I found myself here looking around at Sherman. I've been coming to Sherman since I was a small child. And I thought, wow, this place is on the verge of being something great. It's sort of like right on that edge. It just needs a push. Where you see young people now, young professionals flocking toward metropolitan areas where they have work opportunities, cultural opportunities, etc. What's happening to the small town lifestyle? What's the scene? So I've kind of dived into Sherman from that perspective. One thing I think that happens occasionally in small towns is the frame of reference, especially in the design world, it gets a little bit insulated. It's like you're no longer looking outside of yourself for inspiration. And I think that's one thing that we try to bring to our work in Sherman. We're looking outside of Sherman. What's going on in other places? How can we bring a fresh spirit for architecture, urban design, community design, bring our knowledge of successful architecture and urban design in other places, and apply that to the context here in Sherman. Because ultimately, we want the community to thrive. And we've donated a lot of our time to the downtown Sherman preservation revitalization. We believe downtown Sherman has an awesome potential to be a great mixed-use neighborhood. A lot of that depends on the architecture of the neighborhood, preserving architecture of historic merit, but also inspiring new development. And what can we do with the knowledge that we have to make a difference in the community, not only in private practice, but through the work that we have donated to the causes we believe in.